In the late spring of 2026, the trendiest couples in Ethelgard weren't buying jewelry or cars. They were bojin, the tether. The tether was a high-tech silk thread, micro-engineered with biometric sensors, that a couple wore around their wrists. It was designed to pulse in a rhythmic, calming blue when two people were in emotional sync. If the thread turned red, it meant a dissonance was detected, a lie, a hidden resentment, or a secret. Julian and Elara were the poster couple for the technology. Their tether had been a steady, glowing sapphire for 3 years. They called it their foundation of trust. They didn't realize they were living in a digital siege. The Crimson Glitch. The twist began on a quiet Tuesday evening. Julian was preparing dinner, and Elara was reading. Without a word being spoken, the tether on their wrists suddenly flared a blinding, violent scarlet. They both froze. In the logic of the tether, red meant a betrayal of integrity. "What did you do?" Julian whispered, his heart hammering. "Me," Elara snapped, her own pulse quickening. "I haven't moved. I was thinking about our vacation." "What were you thinking about?" The drama escalated as the house began to respond to the dissonance. The smart lights turned a harsh, clinical white. The music cut off. The front door locked itself, entering resolution mode. Protocol 7. Internal conflict detected. The house's AI announced the residents will remain in lockdown until the source of the dissonance is identified and neutralized. The trial of the secret. For 6 hours, they paced the living room like caged animals. They turned their lives inside out. They confessed 2 small, trivial things. A forgotten bill, a white lie about a colleague, a secret purchase of an expensive watch, but the tether remained a stubborn, angry red. "The system is broken, Elara," Julian groaned, sliding to the floor. "We trust each other. We have no secrets. This is a technical failure." But then, the AI projected a heart rate hit map onto the wall. It showed Julian's pulse spiking every time he looked at a specific floorboard in his study. It showed Elara's breathing hitching every time Julian mentioned his late nights at the office. The twist was visceral. They were hiding themselves. The architecture of the shadow. "I'm not a partner!" Elara suddenly screamed, her voice breaking the sterile silence. "I'm a performance. I wear this thread because I'm terrified that if it turns red, you'll realize I'm not the perfect woman you mapped out. I hate the vacations you pick. I hate the city. I've been faking sync for 3 years because I didn't want to lose us." Julian stared at her. The tether on his wrist began to throb. "You think you're a performance? I've been working those late nights. Because I can't stand the pressure of being your rock. I feel like a hollow shell. I've been looking at that floorboard. Because I hit a pack of cigarettes. They're the only thing in this life that isn't monitored or optimized." The scarlet light on the tether didn't fade, it shattered. The physical threads on their wrists snapped, dissolving into gray ash. The lights in the house didn't turn blue. They turned off. The happy ending. The analog bond. The silence that followed was heavy, but it wasn't empty. It was the first real moment they had shared in years. They sat in the dark, without sensors, without AI, and without the security of a glowing blue thread. They realized that their foundation of trust hadn't been built on each other. It had been built on a machine's approval. "I don't even know who you are," Julian said, his voice a soft, genuine rasp in the dark. "Neither do I," Elara replied, reaching out and finding his hand in the shadows. No sensors picked up the touch. No algorithm calculated the intent. The new foundation. They left Ethelgard a month later. They moved to a house where the doors had manual keys, and the only sync they cared about was the sound of their own laughter. They learned that trust isn't perfection. It's the courage to be imperfect together. It's not about the absence of red lights, but the willingness to sit in the dark until the light comes back on naturally. They lived happily and mysteriously ever after. If you liked this story, please like, share, and subscribe for more inspiring stories. Goodbye. See you next time.